Liam was just a little boy when he met Zyra, the alien princess. It was a bright sunny day in the city park. People were excited because a special spaceship had landed nearby. It was the first time aliens visited Earth and everyone wanted to see them. Liam held his mother's hand tightly as they walked closer to the spaceship. The air buzzed with curiosity and wonder. Suddenly the ship's door opened, and out stepped Zyra. She was unlike anyone Liam had ever seen. Her skin was smooth and shiny like silver, and her eyes glowed softly like stars. She wore a beautiful dress that shimmered in the sunlight. Zyra smiled warmly at the crowd, but when her eyes met Liam's, she smiled even brighter. Liam felt shy but also curious. His mother explained, "Zyra is a princess from a faraway planet called Arian. She is here to make friends with Earth." Liam watched as Zyra walked slowly toward the children gathered near the spaceship. When she reached Liam, she knelt down and asked in a gentle voice, "What is your name, little one?" "Liam," he said, looking up at her big glowing eyes. Zyra laughed softly, a sound like music. "Liam, will you promise me something?" Liam was surprised but nodded quickly. "What?" "Will you promise to marry me when you grow up?" Zyra asked with a playful smile. Liam blinked. He didn't really understand what marriage meant, but the idea sounded exciting. He thought about how fun it was to have an alien princess as a friend. "So," he said with a serious face, "I promise." Zyra's smile grew even wider. "Good. Then it is a promise." After that, the princess stayed for a little while, talking and laughing with the children. Liam felt special because he had made a promise with a real alien princess. When it was time for Zyra to leave, Liam felt a strange mix of happiness and sadness. As the spaceship door closed behind Zyra, Liam's mother told him, "You know, Liam, promises are important. If you say something, you should try your best to keep it." Liam looked at the sky where the ship disappeared. "I will keep my promise, Mommy. I will marry Zyra." Years passed and Liam grew up. The world changed, but his promise stayed in his heart. Every night he looked at the stars, wondering about Zyra and the strange, beautiful planet she came from. The little boy who once made a promise was becoming a young man ready to keep it. The day Zyra left Earth was quiet but full of emotion. The spaceship that had once brought the princess to Liam's city was now ready to take her back to her home planet, Arian. People gathered around, waving and hoping to see her again someday. Liam stood at the edge of the crowd, holding his mother's hand. His heart was heavy, but his promise was strong. He knew that one day he would find a way to see Zyra again. Zyra walked slowly to the spaceship's door. She looked at Liam and gave him a soft smile. "Remember your promise, Liam," she said kindly. "I will," Liam replied, his voice steady even though he felt nervous. The door closed and the spaceship began to rise. It sparkled under the sunlight as it flew higher and higher, until it was just a small light in the sky. Liam's eyes followed it until it disappeared completely. For days after, Liam found it hard to think about anything else. His friends talked about other things, games, school, and simple adventures. But Liam's mind was full of stars and the faraway world of Arian. His mother noticed the change. One evening, she sat beside him and said, "Liam, it is good to have dreams, but you must also learn and grow strong. If you want to keep your promise to Zyra, you will need to be ready." Liam nodded. "I want to learn everything about space. I want to be brave and smart, just like her." From that moment, Liam worked harder than ever. He read books about science and planets. He learned how to build small machines and study the sky at night. His teachers saw his passion and helped him whenever they could. Sometimes people laughed when Liam talked about Zyra. They said it was just a child's fantasy. But Liam did not care. His promise was real to him, and that was enough. As the years passed, Liam's world grew bigger. He joined a space exploration program and trained with other young people who dreamed of visiting other planets. His skills grew, and so did his hope. He still looked at the stars every night. He imagined what Arian was like, its cities, its people, and Zira herself. He wondered if she was waiting for him, too. One day, while working at the Space Center, Liam received surprising news. A message came from Arian. The alien princess had sent an invitation for him to visit their planet. Liam's heart raced. This was the moment he had waited for all his life. His promise was no longer just a dream. It was real. He packed his bags, ready to travel to a world beyond his imagination. His mother hugged him tightly. "Be brave, Liam, and remember you are not just a boy anymore." Liam smiled, feeling the weight and the power of the promise he had made so many years ago. Liam stood on the launch pad, staring up at the sleek spaceship that would take him beyond the stars. He was no longer the little boy who made a promise to an alien princess. He was now a young man, a skilled engineer and space explorer, ready to keep that promise. Years of hard work had brought him here. Liam had studied everything about space travel, alien technology, and survival in the unknown. He had built machines, fixed engines, and learned the languages of many worlds. But deep inside, his heart held a simple truth. He would find Zira and honor the promise they made long ago. As the countdown began, Liam's mind raced back to that day in the park. He remembered Zira's glowing eyes and the soft voice that had asked him to promise marriage. It had seemed like a game then, a child's innocent fantasy. But now, with the whole universe opening before him, Liam knew it was real. The spaceship's engines roared, lifting Liam off the ground. The Earth became smaller and smaller behind him. Through the window, he saw the blue planet shining like a gem in the darkness of space. He thought of his mother and friends, all watching and hoping for his safe journey. The trip to Arian was long but filled with wonder. Liam watched stars pass by. Galaxies swirl and nebulae glow in colors he had only dreamed of. The technology of his ship was a mix of Earth's finest and Arian's advanced science, a symbol of the growing friendship between the two worlds. Finally, after many days, the ship entered the orbit of Arian. The planet was beautiful, with purple skies and green mountains, shining rivers and cities that floated above the ground like clouds. Liam's heart pounded as he prepared to land. When the ship touched down, Liam stepped out into a world unlike any he had seen. The air smelled sweet and the light was soft. He was greeted by royal guards dressed in silver armor, their eyes curious but respectful. Soon Liam was led to the palace, a magnificent building made of crystal and light. He could feel the energy of the place, powerful and alive. And then, he saw her. Zira stood at the entrance, taller and more graceful than Liam remembered. Her silver skin glowed warmly and her eyes shone like stars. She smiled, the same gentle smile that had stayed in Liam's memory for years. "Welcome, Liam," Zira said softly. "You kept your promise." Liam bowed respectfully. "I would never forget." Around them, people watched quietly, unsure of what to expect. The meeting of human and alien was more than a reunion. It was a symbol of hope, trust, and the future. Liam knew that his journey was just beginning. There would be challenges ahead, political struggles, dangers, and tests of loyalty. But he was ready, for the promise he made as a boy was now his destiny. Liam felt a mix of excitement and nervousness as he read the message again. The invitation had come straight from Princess Zira herself, asking him to visit her home planet, Arian. It was a chance he had waited for all his life, a chance to see if their childhood promise could become real. At the Space Center, Liam packed his things carefully. He included his best Earth clothes, some gifts for the alien people, and a small photo of his mother. Every piece reminded him of home, but also of the promise he had made years ago. The journey to Arian was long and full of surprises. Liam saw strange stars and planets through the windows of his ship. He felt small in the vast universe, but also proud. He was about to meet Zira again, the alien princess who had changed his life. When Liam finally arrived, the planet looked like nothing he had ever imagined. The sky was purple, and two suns shone brightly. The air smelled fresh and clean, and giant trees with glowing leaves surrounded the landing area. The alien guards welcomed him with respectful bows. They wore shining armor and carried tall staffs that glowed softly. Liam felt like he was in a dream. He was soon taken to the royal palace, a magnificent building made of crystal and light. It was larger and more beautiful than anything on Earth. Inside, everything shimmered with colors Liam could not name. As he entered the grand hall, Liam saw Zira waiting for him. She was taller now and carried herself with the calm strength of a leader. Her silver skin shone softly and her eyes sparkled like stars. "Welcome back, Liam," Zira said with a warm smile. "You have traveled far." "I kept my promise," Liam replied, feeling a deep respect for the princess he had once known as a child. The palace was full of strange and wonderful people. Some were curious about Liam, others seemed cautious. They whispered among themselves, wondering what a human could bring to their world. Zira noticed the looks and took Liam's hand. "Do not worry," she said gently. "Not everyone here understands, but you are important to us." Liam nodded. He knew that this visit was more than just a reunion. It was the start of something bigger, a chance to build a bridge between two very different worlds. In the days that followed, Liam explored the palace and the city. He learned about Arian's people, their customs, and their technology. He was amazed by the harmony between nature and science. Yet Liam could sense that not everything was peaceful. Some nobles whispered about distrust of humans and fear of change. Liam knew he had to prove himself worthy, not just to Zira, but to all of Arian. As the sun set behind the glowing mountains, Liam stood on a balcony beside Zira. The stars shone brightly above, and the two suns dipped below the horizon. "We have much work to do," Zira said softly. Liam looked at her and smiled. "Then let's begin." The grand hall of the Arian palace was filled with the murmur of noble voices. Liam felt the weight of hundreds of eyes watching him closely. The royal court was unlike anything he had seen before, full of strange beings in elegant robes, their faces curious and sometimes cold. Zira stood beside him, calm and strong. As the princess, she had the power to protect Liam, but she also knew that many in the court did not trust humans. Some saw Liam as a symbol of change, others as a threat. The head advisor, a tall figure with deep blue skin and sharp eyes, stepped forward. "Princess Zira," he said in a clear voice, "this human's presence here stirs much talk. Many question if Earth can be trusted." Liam straightened his back. He had expected this. "I come with respect and hope," he said firmly. "I want to learn, to help, and to honor my promise." Whispers filled the hall. Some nobles nodded, impressed by his courage. Others exchanged doubtful looks. Zira raised her hand, silencing the room. "Liam has kept his promise to me. His heart is true, but more than words, he must show his worth." The court agreed that Liam should undergo the trials of Arian, a set of tests to prove bravery, wisdom, and loyalty. These trials were ancient, known only to the royal family and the court. Passing them meant earning respect and trust. Liam accepted without fear. The trials would be hard, but he was ready. For years he had prepared for this moment. The first trial tested courage. Liam faced a deep cave where the shadows moved and strange sounds echoed. He had to find a glowing crystal that symbolized truth. With steady steps and clear mind, Liam reached the crystal, ignoring fear and darkness. Next was the test of wisdom. Liam sat before the council and solved puzzles that mixed science and Arian's ancient knowledge. His human way of thinking brought new ideas, surprising the court. The last trial was the test of loyalty. Liam was asked to choose between saving himself or protecting Zira from danger. Without hesitation, he chose to protect her, showing that his promise was more than words. After the trials, the court's mood changed. Respect grew for the human who had come so far. Zira smiled proudly. "You have proven yourself, Liam. You belong here." Liam felt a new strength inside. The promise was no longer a childhood dream. It was a powerful truth. But the trials were only the beginning. Liam knew that many challenges lay ahead. Some in the court still wished to break the alliance between Earth and Aryan. Yet standing beside Zira, Liam felt ready for whatever came next. Together, they would face the future. After the trials, the palace buzzed with talk about Liam. Some nobles admired him, others still doubted. But one thing was clear. Liam's human qualities were different from anything Aryan had seen before. Zira believed in him. "Liam," she said one morning, "your courage and wisdom impressed many. But to truly earn trust, you must understand our people deeply. You must prove your worth beyond the trials." Liam nodded. "I want to learn everything, their culture, their values, how they live." Over the next weeks, Liam walked the city with Zira. They visited markets filled with alien foods and strange sounds. Liam tasted glowing fruits and watched artisans craft objects from light and metal. The people were curious about him, but began to smile and greet him warmly. One day, Zira took Liam to a school where young Aryans learned. Liam spoke to the children about Earth and shared stories of his childhood. The children listened with wide eyes, fascinated by a human who kept a promise across the stars. Liam's favorite place was the great library. It held knowledge from centuries, books floating in midair and glowing softly. Liam spent hours reading about Aryan's history, philosophy, and technology. One night as they walked beneath twin moons, Zira asked, "What makes humans strong, Liam?" He thought for a moment. "We have hope. We keep promises. And we never give up even when things are hard." Zira smiled. "That is what Aryan needs. Not just strength, but hope." But not all was peaceful. Some nobles met in secret. They worried about the growing friendship between Earth and Aryan. They feared humans would change their ways and take power. Liam overheard a whisper in the palace halls. "The human must be stopped before it is too late," one voice said. Liam felt a chill but stayed calm. He knew that proving worth was more than trials or kindness. It was about trust and loyalty in difficult times. One evening, Zira invited Liam to a royal feast. The room was filled with important people, leaders, warriors, and scholars. Liam sat beside Zira, proud but aware of the watchful eyes. During the feast, a noble stood and spoke. "We welcome Liam, but remind all that our traditions are old and sacred. Any change must respect our past." Liam raised his glass. "I honor your traditions. I only wish to add hope and friendship." The crowd quieted, some nodding, others still unsure. After the feast, Zira and Liam walked on the palace balcony. "You are becoming one of us," she said softly. "Together, we will face whatever comes." Liam looked at the stars, feeling the promise stronger than ever. He was no longer a boy with a dream. He was a bridge between two worlds. The palace, usually bright and full of life, now held a quiet tension. Liam felt it deep in his bones. Something was wrong. Whispers and strange glances followed him wherever he went. One evening, while walking through a quiet hallway, Liam overheard voices from a hidden room. He crept closer and heard two nobles speaking in low tones. "The human is too dangerous," one said. "If he unites our worlds, our power will end. We must act soon," the other replied. "Before the alliance grows too strong." Liam's heart raced. There was a secret group working against him and Zira, planning to stop the marriage and ruin the alliance. He hurried to find Zira, who was in the royal gardens. "Princess," Liam whispered urgently, "there is danger inside the palace. Some nobles want to destroy what we have built." Zira's face grew serious. "I feared this. We must be careful." Together, they planned to protect their bond and the peace between Earth and Aryan. Zira trusted Liam, and Liam trusted her, but they knew enemies lurked in shadows. Days passed with careful watchfulness. Liam and Zira moved through the palace with caution, watching for spies and listening for secrets. One night, a loud alarm broke the silence. Guards rushed through the halls. Someone had tried to sabotage the power core that kept the palace alive. Liam joined the guards using his earth training to help stop the attack. He found the damage and repaired it quickly. The palace's lights returned, but the threat was clear. Their enemies were bold. Zyra gathered the court. "We must unite," she said firmly. "Those who seek to harm us will fail. Together, we are stronger." Some nobles nodded, but others looked away. The palace was divided. Liam knew the fight was just beginning. To keep his promise, he had to be brave not only in trials but in war of words and power. He stood beside Zyra, ready to face whatever came next. Their promise was a light in the dark, and they would protect it with all their strength. Part 8. The alliance strengthened. The threat inside the palace had made everyone more careful, but it also brought Liam and Zyra closer. They knew that, if they wanted to protect their worlds, they had to work together. Liam spent many hours with the palace engineers, sharing ideas from Earth. He showed how to improve their energy systems and create stronger defenses. His knowledge impressed even the most doubtful nobles. Zyra watched him with pride. "You are more than a promise, Liam. You are a bridge between our peoples." Together, they planned new ways to unite Earth and Arian. They worked on trade, agreements, cultural exchanges, and joint research projects. Slowly, the palace began to trust the human who had once been a stranger, but the hidden enemies did not stop. They spread lies and tried to turn people against Liam and Zyra. The couple responded with kindness and honesty, meeting with nobles and citizens alike to explain their vision. One day, a great ceremony was held to celebrate the alliance. Leaders from both worlds gathered, wearing their finest clothes. The palace was decorated with banners of Earth and Arian. Liam and Zyra stood side by side. Zyra wore a beautiful dress that shimmered like stars. Liam wore a suit made from Earth materials, simple but proud. The ceremony began with speeches about peace and friendship. When it was Liam's turn, he spoke from his heart. "I was once a boy who made a promise to a princess," he said. "Today, I stand here to keep that promise and build a future for both our worlds. Together we can achieve great things." The crowd applauded. Some faces still held doubt, but many smiled with hope. After the ceremony, Liam and Zyra visited the new technology labs. Scientists from both planets worked side by side, creating machines that combined human creativity and Aryan technology. Liam felt proud. This was what he had dreamed of, a true partnership that respected both worlds. That night, as Liam and Zyra stood on a balcony overlooking the glowing city, they knew the road ahead would not be easy. But their promise and their bond were stronger than ever. "We have taken the first step," Zyra said softly. Liam nodded. "And we will walk this path together." The day of the marriage ceremony arrived with great excitement and nervous energy. The entire city of Arian was decorated with glowing lights and colorful banners. People from both Earth and Arian gathered to witness the union that symbolized hope and friendship between two very different worlds. Liam stood in his suit, feeling a mix of pride and nervousness. He thought back to the little boy he once was, who had made a promise to a shining alien princess. Now, he was ready to keep that promise. Zyra looked radiant in her shimmering dress, her silver skin glowing softly under the lights. She walked gracefully down the aisle, her eyes meeting Liam's with a smile full of trust and warmth. The ceremony was held in the great hall of the palace. Leaders from Earth and Arian spoke about peace, unity, and the bright future they hoped to build together. The words filled the room with hope and joy. When it was time for Liam and Zyra to exchange their vows, Liam spoke clearly. "I promised you long ago that I would come back. Today I keep that promise. I will stand by you, protect you, and build a future with you." Zyra replied, "And I promise to support you, to lead with you, and to honor the bond we share. Together we are stronger." The crowd cheered and music filled the air. The ceremony ended with a beautiful dance where humans and Aryans moved together in harmony. After the celebration, Liam and Zyra stood on a balcony overlooking the city. The stars shone brightly in the purple sky, and the twin suns had set behind the mountains. "We have done it," Zyra said softly. Yes, Liam replied. Our promise was more than a childhood dream. It is real. But Liam also knew their work was not finished. The alliance needed care and trust to grow stronger. There would be challenges, but together, they could face them. That night, as they looked out over Arian, Liam felt a deep sense of peace. He had kept his promise, but more importantly, he had found a partner in Zira and a new home among the stars. Would you like me to write the final part 10? After the wedding, Liam and Zira began their new life together as partners, not only in marriage but in leadership. Their union was more than a personal promise. It was a symbol of hope for both Earth and Arian. Liam quickly learned that being part of Arian's royal family came with many responsibilities. He met with leaders and scientists, helped solve problems, and worked to strengthen the bond between their worlds. Zira and Liam traveled together to distant parts of Arian, visiting cities, villages, and space stations. People welcomed them warmly, inspired by their story of promise and trust. But challenges remained. Some still doubted the alliance. Old fears and mistrust did not disappear overnight. Liam knew it would take time and patience to build lasting peace. One day a message arrived from Earth. Liam's mother sent her love and pride, reminding him of his roots and the promise he once made as a child. He held the message close, feeling the strength of his past guiding his future. Together, Liam and Zira worked to create schools that taught both human and Aryan knowledge. They started projects that shared technology and culture, helping their people understand each other better. Under their leadership, Earth and Aryan began exploring new planets together, seeking peace and friendship across the stars. Liam often thought back to the little boy he once was, scared but hopeful, making a promise without fully understanding. Now he was a man who kept that promise and helped build a future for millions. One quiet evening, Liam and Zira stood on the palace balcony, watching the twin suns set behind the mountains. The stars appeared bright and steady. Zira smiled. We have done more than keep a promise. We have changed history. Liam nodded. And we will keep changing it, together. The future was uncertain but full of possibility. As husband and wife, leaders and friends, they faced it with hope and courage. The little boy's promise was no longer just a memory. It was the beginning of a new era, one where two worlds came together as one.